All right, so I made a couple extra examples to go through. These examples are not specifically in the book notes, but you may see problems like them in your homework. So if we look at letter A, we have the double inequality where you have a value on one side with an inequality and then another value with an inequality. So all we need to do here is break this apart, right? We already went through how to do this. So if we break apart the first chunk, we'd have -3 is less than 9x minus 3 divided by 2. And then if we broke apart the second piece, we would get 9x minus 3 divided by 2 is less than 3. So basically, I want to use this to review how we get that 2 out of the denominator here. So it's in both equations, right? Because it's coming from the same piece. And remember, divided means, or sorry, a fraction means you're dividing. So if we're right now dividing by 2, the way you get that 2 out of there is just to multiply both sides by 2, do the opposite. So if we multiply by 2, multiply by 2, right, we get 2 times -3 here, which is -6, is less than 9x minus 3 because these 2's then cancel out. Now you have a pretty simple equation to solve. So nothing extra special necessarily, but just a good review of when you have that denominator, you can multiply. So let's see what we get here. We get -3 is less than 9x, divide by 9. So we get -1/3 is less than x, and then we're going to flip that. X is greater than -1/3. And on this one, it's only asking us to solve. So if we do the same thing then with our other equation that we have over here in blue, we would start by multiplying both sides by 2. So that's going to cancel out here. We get 9x minus 3 is less than 6, and solve. We get x is less than 1. All right. The other thing that you could do is up here in the original, because you have the 2 in the denominator, you could right away multiply everything by 2. So then the 2's would cancel, and then you'd get your -6 and your +6 right away. So you could do that right away, or you could wait until you separate it like we did when we solved it. Either way, it works. All right, and then letter B, we have a rational equation. So we've got a denominator that has a variable in it. So let's start by subtracting the 5 over to the other side. Okay. And then the same idea can be done here, right? Whatever you have in the denominator, you can multiply it off. So we can just multiply by x plus 2. That's going to cancel them here. And then we can multiply by x plus 2 on the other side. So this might start off looking kind of ugly, but it's actually pretty simple when you multiply both sides by whatever's in the denominator. And then we'll distribute the -5 and solve like normal. And here we get a fraction. That is okay. Please just leave fraction answers. Don't round them off as decimals. So -7/6 is my answer for that one. So just a couple extra examples that might look a little bit more difficult, but really when we break them down, if there's anything in the denominator, multiply it on both sides to get rid of it. All right, and then here is your last assignment for chapter 1.